Hello everybody, Ollamh here, and welcome to a special and unusual Geek Trivia. Today we're not going to be talking about like a game franchise or a movie franchise or even a book series. Instead, we're going to be talking about something that's going on with YouTube and YouTubers. Now, lately a lot of YouTubers have come out and saying, well, we're not always happy, we're not always bouncy and fun and just, having a great old time. Occasionally, and more lately, a lot of them are coming out and saying that they're depressed and they're not having they're not happy. There's something going on with them that they're not happy. They're not bouncy, happy, fun time. And anytime you're talking about a large number of people, large group of people, there is a little bit of a difference. There's, there is not one simple answer. It's going to be a little bit different for everybody. But there's an interesting thing about a lot of these cases that I wanted to look at a little bit closer, and that's the idea of a quarter-life crisis. Now, we're all familiar with the idea of a midlife crisis, where you realize that your life is half over and you haven't gone out and had as much fun as you planned on. You don't have all the really nice things that you thought you would have by this point in your life. And that is one type of crisis. This happens earlier, obviously. Usually happens around your mid to late 20s, sometimes into your 30s, sometimes a little bit sooner. And there are a lot of factors that go into this. For example, if you think about the first 2 decades of your life, the first 20 years, how many people come up to you and try and get you to try and figure out as early as possible what you're going to be when you grow up? You're asked that almost before you're in school. What do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to be when you grow up? When you're in middle school, it's what do you want to be when you grow up? We're kind of looking at what career paths you're going to go into. When you're in high school, it's what do you want to be when you grow up? Well, this is what you need to look at as far as college. These are the classes you need to take in order to make sure that you're going into that proper educational career path. When you're in college, you're studying for a specific career. By the time you graduate college, you are grown up. You are an adult. So, are you where you wanted to be? Are you in the career that you have talked about and you've been trying to figure out for the first 2 decades of your life? Or are you some intern? Are you somewhere in that middle ground? And that's really kind of the crux of the quarter-life crisis is it's kind of the going from a child to an adult. And a lot of things come up there and a lot of problems come up. First and foremost is you're not where you thought you were going to be. You thought you were going to be an engineer. You went to school to be an engineer. And now you play games on YouTube. And sure, you're making decent money at it. You may even be making really good money at it. But it's not where you thought you were going to be. It's not where you wanted to be when you were a child. It's not what you thought this is not what you thought your life was going to be. Some people may be saddled with lots of college debt. More and more, particularly with millennials, it is they have a lot of college debt. You went to college for 4 years to learn how to have this career. You were supposed to, you're supposed to go to college, you were supposed to get into this career, you're supposed to make something of yourself. By your mid to late 20s, you're still in the beginning stages of your career. If you're even in that career field, even if you're in that field at all, which is not guaranteed. So now you have almost crippling debt, and you're not in the career. You aren't in the career that you were planning on. You're not in the career that you spent all this money on. You are way in debt, and you're not even in that field. And that's kind of that what the hell am I doing with my life type of situation. And I think that's where a lot of people are, and where a lot of this is coming from. You look at somebody like PewDiePie, who has said in recent videos that, number one, he's not always happy. He has to kind of force that happiness and force that positivity into some of his videos. It's not as fun as it used to be, because it used to be he was doing it just for fun. Now, this is his job. This is what people expect from him. This is what people demand from him. And he has said that he is looking, that he wants to do all the things that his parents told him to do as a kid. Go outside, read a book, learn this, learn an instrument. He's wanting to do all those things that he had the opportunity and his parents were trying to get him to do as a kid, but he didn't. And now he wants that. He wants to learn and kind of make something of himself. People like Markiplier, who have said that he wants to get into doing, originally when he started his YouTube channel, he wanted to do sketches and skits, and he wanted to do comedy stuff, and he wanted to do comedy videos, and he kind of got into that Let's Play area, and that's really what made him, yes, but that wasn't what he was planning on. That wasn't what he was wanting his videos to be. That wasn't what he was wanting his channel to be. So that's kind of part of the quarter life crisis, is my life isn't where I thought it was going to be by this point. Another big thing is, like I said, it's that crossover, that fuzzy area between being a child and being an adult. By the time you're in your mid to late 20s, you are an adult. Hands down, you are. You are a grown-up. But there's still a lot of people that look at you and say, oh, well, you're 25, 26, 27, you're still a kid. You're still a youngin'. You have no idea what the world is really going to do to you. And I think this kind of really affects YouTubers more simply because of the fact that general society has this idea that YouTube is not a real job. This is, the general society doesn't see you as an adult. They don't see you as having a job. You make videos and put them up on YouTube. That's not a job. Working in a grocery store, that's a job. Working in a warehouse, that's a job. Working in a factory, that's a job. A lot of people see YouTube as basically you are this child making home movies, and that's it. So that really kind of accentuates and focuses on you're not really an adult. You can be in your mid to late 20s. You're not really an adult yet. Even though you are. Even though some of these people are making a living at this, some of these people are making pretty good money at it. Even if you're just making decent money at it, that's a job. That is a job. And so many people try and tell millennials, oh, well, you have to get a real job. You have to get you have to get this real job, even though the real jobs are becoming fewer and fewer as we become more focused on technological advancements, and we have more automation in the workforce all over the place. And in all honesty, more and more careers and more jobs are going to be automated. There is no job that can't be automated. It just requires somebody to say, hey, we're going to save money if we automate it. So a lot of people are looking for different jobs and different careers and different ways to make money and different ways to have jobs. And working for yourself is wonderful. It is great. That is kind of the dream. And in a lot of ways, these are small business owners. These are small businesses. You look at somebody like Philip DeFranco that went from doing it just himself to creating something much bigger than just himself. And even he said that, during that same age period, he had problems. He kind of had this, some of his stuff was, was maybe a bit more psychological, but it's one of those things where just about everybody reaches this quarter-life crisis. And I think it's kind of part of what it is that with YouTubers in particular, you're seeing it a lot more. There's an idea in YouTube that, particularly with vloggers, that you be honest and open with your audience. So they're not always going to be happy, fun time. You can get away with it maybe once a month, having one that's kind of like, well, it's been a bad day. It hasn't been a great day. There's been a lot of things going on and stuff like that. And there is, and you can get away with that once a month, maybe, and before people are like, oh, you're just too depressing. You're just, I don't watch these videos. I don't watch videos like this to see somebody be depressing. I want entertainment. And to a certain extent, that's kind of, that's kind of the dance, monkey, dance. Dance for me, entertain me. And yeah, that's what a lot of YouTube is entertainment. We are, a lot of people are there to provide entertainment, or to provide a start of a conversation, or even in some instances to kind of sort of report news. So the question I have is, do you think that the quarter-life crisis is more poignant for millennials? Do you think it's more poignant for YouTubers? Or do you think that it's just, we're seeing it a lot more because, number one, social media makes everything, everybody's life is so much more public with social media, with Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram. Everybody's life is so much more public. So we're seeing this as a thing more than 10, 20 years ago. Are the YouTubers kind of being the face of the modern day quarter-life crisis because they are public figures? They are in front of the camera. They are doing this stuff. I remember when I was in my mid to late 20s. When I was in my mid 20s, I was in college. I had originally planned to go into college and get a career in accounting. I was partway through the accounting program when basically I got called into the counselor's office and was told, well, accounting really isn't a thing anymore. It's not really a career anymore, because with, QuickBooks Pro and all these different programs that can do accounting for a person, you don't need, a medium-sized company doesn't need 2 or 3 accountants. They might need one, and that one accountant is going to also be a manager. So yeah, you're going to be going into business management and might go into accounting. You might be a CPA or something like that, but that's even beyond just normal accounting. But the career path that I had chosen basically disappeared from underneath me. So I'm kind of familiar with that. I've been through that, and yes, it is very much a thing. It wasn't as publicly known back then, but I think that's something that we're going to see a lot more of coming up. So I would like to know what your thoughts on the quarter-life crisis are. Do you think it's a thing? Do you recognize it? Have you been through it? Or are you kind of going through it now? Or is this something that you are going to kind of file away in your head so that when you get to that age period and something like that starts, you're just feeling depressed about where you are in life, you can kind of say, wait a second, wait, I kind of remember something about that. So I would love to know your opinion. Leave a comment down below. Send us a tweet, send us a post on our Facebook page. Let us know what your thoughts on the quarter-life crisis are. And, as always, thank you guys very much for watching. And stay tuned for more from Ollamh Productions.
If you wanna see some
Cheerio.
crazy adults all lazy, then you should meet me and my friends. Even though we got no money, for sure as hell.
Why does the music remind me of The Sims? It's like, yes, we're going to kill people today.
Phil Anonymous actually had his channel dinged because he played Geometry Dash and bragged jokingly that he was the best at the game.